Welcome to Retro Scale Modelling. This is part 5 of the USS Enterprise B build, and this is the final part. I'm showing you how I done the decals. Now this video is not really going to be an in-depth video. It's just putting on the decals and a little bit of explanation. So let's jump into it. So these decals are homemade ones. I managed to find a file on the web that was free to use, and printed them off. I had to adjust them slightly for the Enterprise B. They were all different colours, so I had to change the colours to one that suited me, which was a grey. And what I did was I took the file, I measured out on the saucer section the length, then printed them off on decal paper. After that, it was sealing the decal paper with some varnish before it was time to put them on. Now, because this is not I haven't got a laser cut printer, just a normal printer, when you're cutting the decals out, make sure you cut them close as possible to the actual shape or pattern that you printed off. Otherwise you'll end up with a large piece of filament that you don't want on the model. So put them on. I'm using micro set and micro clear. You can use decal fix, but this one softens up the decal really well to put them on. So you just soak the decal, put the solution down onto the model, and then gently peel it on. So because they're cone shaped, they just carry right around the circumference of the saucer section. So I've continued all the way around, just putting the last part on now. And then once the inner saucer section was done, it was just a case of doing the outer rim with the same Aztec pattern. And while I was drying, just cutting out the Aztec pattern for the underside now. And it's the same again for the underside. Just a little difference there. I've cut little notches in the pattern now. That's just so it fits around the phaser bands. That's the little yellow rectangles you see there. And once the Aztec was on, then I just use a micro saw just to soften them up even further and press out any air bubbles. Now, after a lot of drying time, it's time to put on the main decals from the actual kit itself. And these just go on in the normal way, use a micro saw, micro set again. The reason why I'm using them because there's different contours to the model, so it's better if you use a softening agent just so it melds into the plastic. And next is the curved red stripe markings that go around the saucer section. And then registration markings and names are next to go on. Now there's a few other bits and pieces to go on. These are just the little squares and marks, don't know what they are, that go around the saucer section. And then it's time for the markers for the phaser bands going on. And once that was all dry, it was time to do the underside the same way as I did the top side. At this stage, you should point out at the edge of the saucer section there's 3 blue stripes that go around it, but unfortunately the kit's decals didn't come with it, so I had to print them off and put them on myself. Now they were just blue thin strips and printed out and put on. Unfortunately I had to do it off camera because of the angle that I was used to put them on. My camera just didn't pick it up. Onto the whole decals, and again it's much the same as the saucer section with the Aztec decaling. So just putting in the various side panels and that. Again, just make sure that you've trimmed them to size. The underside was relatively simple to put on. As you can see there, just one big block. The side section was a little bit more trickier to put on. It's just the nature of the angle, but once you can get your eye in and get used to the angle. You should be okay. On the underside at the bottom here, I wasn't sure whether the Aztec pattern was applied or not. I couldn't find any great photographs to show me, so I decided to put it on in the end anyway. And for the top of the hull, in these grey panels here, I changed the colour of the Aztec detailing to blue, just so that they would show up better on this part. And again, once the Aztec was done, it was time to put in the decals from the main sheet now. So there's various lines and markings that go on. The original name bar, again, it's just a simple case of finding your point where you want to put it in, and then just sliding it on. No great issues at all. And last to go on for the hull is the Enterprise nameplate at the back of the at the front of the shuttle bay doors. And the last to be decaled in this process is the water cells. So again, starting off with the Aztec pattern, just putting it on, and then after that it will be the registration marks. So that's mostly the decals on now, and I'll do the rest off camera, because you've seen it all before. There's nothing new to add really. So I've decided to do the reveal in a separate video. So this will be a short video, and the actual reveal will probably be similar length, I don't know. But if you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't done so yet, check out the other videos of this build, and hopefully this one will make sense to you. I did edit these videos in such a way that each section was easy to follow, hence why the decals video is the last to go on. If you do watch the other videos, you'll see that the decals are already on, but I thought, because it's quite an intricate build, it's better to put it in sections like this. So thank you all very much for watching, and make sure you keep your eye out for the reveal video. But for now, bye bye.